Islam is a very bad place for religious minorities to be. That doesn't mean that for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 1400 years, they go about slaughtering everybody. The Ottoman Empire also had this little thing called the Armenian Genocide. So apparently, they were very nice until they weren't very nice to 1.5 million people. So I'm not in the least bit sympathetic to that argument. The other one that we usually hear is, but come on, Al-Andalusia, everybody lived in peace. Well, I can cite you all sorts of references, including a professor that specializes in this field at Northwestern, who tells us that Andalusia was anything but a cakewalk for Jews and Christians under Islamic domination. If you live as a dhimmi, that's the Arabic word for Ahl al-Kutub, which means in Arabic, the people of the book, meaning the Christians and the Muslims that live under Islamic dominion. We tolerate you, but we also pat you on the back and say, don't be too Jewish, Jew. And we also have to pray really hard that our daughter is not super sexy, because when my Islamic overlord comes to me and says, it's time to fork up that really pretty daughter, then I have to do it as a good little dhimmi. And so, yes, there were periods where it was worse to be Jewish under Christian dominion. That doesn't mean that I long for the day to be under Islamic rule.
Okay, so there's quite a few points that are being made here, and I want to start from the top. Every country should have the right to decide who comes in and who doesn't come in, what kind of ideas they tolerate and what kind of ideas they don't. And we're going to use a very extreme example to make this point. And I'm not comparing the two. For the sake of argument, I'm not going to compare the two, but I'm just making the extreme point so that I can make the point. If you know someone's an open Nazi and wants to undermine your entire society to make it a more Nazi society, you have the right not to let them immigrate to your country, right? So that's the first thing. You should have the right as a society, as a collective, in a democratic state, to decide what kind of people and ideas you allow in. Okay, the second thing is that it's very important that we're only criticizing ideas and not people. Professor Saad makes this point that he's not being bigoted towards individual people, but towards a set of ideas, right? And I think all religions should be fair game to be criticized, right? And whether or not he's right about Islam is a different question. I assume Islam, like most religions, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, is not a monolith. And you have different types of ideas within Islam.